Nibiru is an Akkadian word, appearing in Mesopotamian texts written in cuneiform script. It is derived from the root word eberu, which means to cross or to pass over. The oldest known references to Nibiru come from Babylonian and Assyrian astronomical texts, rather than Sumerian sources. It is not a Sumerian word, though it appears in texts influenced by Sumerian mythology. The earliest mentions of Nibiru date back to the 2nd millennium BC. The word is used multiple times across different tablets, but its meaning changes depending on context. But what does Nibiru actually mean? In Akkadian, Nibiru is generally translated as a crossing point, a place of transition, and a celestial body that crosses the sky, a celestial marker in the sky. Sometimes Nibiru is used as an alternative name for Jupiter, and in Babylonian mythology, Nibiru is directly linked to Marduk, son of Enki. Nibiru is a word that refers to a crossing or passing celestial object, not necessarily a single planet. Nibiru appears in several Mesopotamian texts, most notably in astronomical records and Babylonian myths. The Mulapin is an ancient Babylonian star catalog, listing constellations, planetary movements, and celestial cycles. It specifically mentions Nibiru. The star which stands in the west at the end of the year and is seen in the east at the beginning of the year is Nibiru. This describes a celestial body that moves in a distinct pattern, appearing in different parts of the sky at different times of the year. This could be a known planet, a slow-moving celestial object with an unusual trajectory, or a large comet with a recurring orbit. The fact that Nibiru stands in the west and later appears in the east suggests something with a long orbital path, possibly an elliptical one.
The Mulapin includes a list of 36 stars, 3 stars for each month of the year. The stars are those having a helical rise in a particular month. The first line lists the 3 stars, which have the helical rise in the first month of the year, Nisanu, which is associated with the vernal equinox. In the second line, 3 other stars are listed, with a helical rise in the second month, Ayaru, and so on.
It also appears in the Enuma Elish. Marduk made the stations for the great gods, the stars, their images, as the stars of the zodiac, he fixed. He ordained the year, and into sections he divided it. For the 12 months he fixed 3 stars. He fixed the station of Nibiru to determine their bounds, that none might go beyond or fall short. Nibiru determines the limits of other planetary movements, and is positioned at a critical point in the solar system. We see it in a Babylonian star catalog called Astrolabe B. The red star, which stands in the south after the gods of the night have finished their task, dividing the sky in half. This star is Nibiru Marduk. It's a red celestial body. This suggests a reddish-hued planet, star, or large comet. It divides the sky in half. This could mean it crosses an important celestial boundary, like the ecliptic. In later texts, especially from the Neo-Babylonian period 600 BC, Nibiru is used as a name for Jupiter, Marduk's planet. One of the main counter-arguments is that Nibiru was just Jupiter. But if that's the case, why did Babylonian astronomers sometimes distinguish between Nibiru and Jupiter? In some tablets, Nibiru is clearly used interchangeably with Jupiter. In other texts, Nibiru is described separately as a moving, crossing body. This suggests that Nibiru was something different from the regular planetary names. Could it be a planetary object that only appeared in certain cycles? Could it be a celestial event that was misinterpreted over time? Could it be a planet with an extreme elliptical orbit that only comes close occasionally? To find out, we must keep digging. For centuries, the gods of old ruled unchallenged. Enlil, the master of the earth. Anu, the king of the heavens. Their dominion was law, their hierarchy set in stone. But in the shifting sands of time, power is never eternal. And from the depths of the waters, a new name emerged. Marduk. He was the son of Enki, the god of wisdom and creation. But destiny is not written by the past. It is forged in fire, war, and rebellion. And Marduk's time would come. The heavens themselves were in chaos. The primordial forces, Apsu and Tiamat, threatened to unmake the world. The older gods, powerless against them, turned to Marduk with an offer. Defeat the chaos dragon, and kingship is yours. And so he did. Marduk rose as a warrior, wielding the winds as weapons, fashioning a net to ensnare his enemy. He struck down Tiamat, split her body in two, and from her remains, he built the very structure of reality. The heavens, the earth, the celestial bodies, the stars, the sun, the moon, all placed by his hand. And for this, Marduk claimed his throne. The gods spoke his name. His name is Lugal-Dimarankia, king of the gods. Whatever he commands, we shall do. But gods do not rule in the heavens alone. They shape the world below. And so Marduk built his city, a reflection of his dominion, Babylon, the city of kings, the center of the world. Under Hammurabi, Babylon rose to power, and with it, Marduk's name eclipsed all others. Enlil, once the supreme ruler, was cast aside. Anu, the father of the gods, faded into the past. Where once the people prayed to many, they now worshipped one.
Every one of the gods, Lahmu and Lahamu, opened their mouths and addressed the Agigi gods. Previously Marduk was our beloved son. Now he is your king. Heed his command. Next they all spoke up together. His name is Lugal-Dimarankia. Trust in him. When they had given kingship to Marduk, they addressed him with a benediction for prosperity and success. Henceforth you are the caretaker of our shrine. Whatever you command, we will do. Marduk opened his mouth to speak and addressed the gods, his fathers. Above the Apsu, the emerald abode, opposite Eshara, which I built for you, beneath the celestial parts, whose floor I made firm, I will build a house to be my luxurious abode. Within it, I will establish its shrine. I will found my chamber and establish my kingship. When you come up from the Apsu to make a decision, this will be your resting place before the assembly. When you descend from heaven to make a decision, this will be your resting place before the assembly. I shall call its name Babylon, the home of the great gods.
Starting from the sun.
For centuries, astronomers believed they had mapped the solar system, that everything followed an order, predictable, structured, complete. But the deeper we looked, the more we found things that didn't add up. Celestial bodies drifting off course, orbits bending where they shouldn't. Objects behaving as if something massive, something unseen, was pulling at them. At first, these anomalies were dismissed. Miscalculations, instrument errors, nothing more than cosmic noise. But the evidence kept piling up. Some called it Planet X, a missing world just beyond our reach. Others called it Nemesis, a dark twin to our sun, a force lurking in the distant void, shaping the heavens in ways we still don't fully understand. And the deeper we dig, the closer we get to the truth. The search for a hidden planet didn't begin in modern times. Astronomers have been hunting for an unknown celestial body since the 19th century. In 1846, Neptune was discovered because something was pulling on Uranus's orbit, an unseen force. Scientists calculated its position before they even saw it, using only mathematics. But even after Neptune was found, something still wasn't right. The numbers didn't add up. There were still gravitational irregularities. Something beyond Neptune seemed to be affecting it. By the late 1800s, astronomers began calling it Planet X, a mysterious world, somewhere in the darkness. Then came Pluto. It was found in 1930, right where astronomers expected. But there was one problem. It was too small. Pluto didn't have enough mass to influence Neptune's orbit. That meant the real Planet X was still out there. In 1992, astronomers discovered the Kuiper Belt, a vast region of icy objects beyond Neptune. It proved that our solar system extended far beyond Pluto. But something strange happened. At about 50 astronomical units from the Sun, the Kuiper Belt just stops. There's a sudden drop-off in objects. This is called the Kuiper Cliff. And no one knows why it exists. One theory? A massive, hidden planet is acting like a cosmic wall, clearing debris or pulling objects out of their natural positions. Then there's the gravitational problem. Certain objects in the Kuiper Belt don't behave the way they should. Their orbits are being warped by something unseen. Their paths suggest the influence of a massive gravitational force. And once again, the evidence points to a missing planet. In 2016, Caltech astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown announced something big. They weren't just speculating about a hidden planet. They had found mathematical evidence that something massive was pulling on objects beyond Neptune. They called it Planet 9. According to their research, it could be 5 to 10 times the size of Earth. It follows a highly elliptical orbit, far beyond Pluto. It takes anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 years to complete one revolution. It pulls on trans-Neptunian objects, aligning them in unnatural ways. In other words, something huge is out there, and it's affecting everything around it. But there's a problem. We still haven't seen it. If Planet 9 exists, it's so far away and so cold that it barely reflects sunlight. It may be the size of Neptune, but it's effectively invisible to current telescopes. But its influence is real. The math proves it. And astronomers are still searching. Not everyone believes we're looking for a planet. Some think we're missing something much larger. Some researchers propose that the Sun has a dark twin, a brown dwarf or a red dwarf star orbiting far beyond Pluto. This companion would have a highly elliptical orbit, swinging close to the Sun only every few thousand years. If true, it could be responsible for periodic mass extinctions on Earth by disturbing comets in the Oort cloud and sending them toward the inner solar system. Other researchers suggest a massive, Jupiter-sized planet called Tyche, beyond the Kuiper Belt. If it exists, it would be too cold and dark to detect easily, but still large enough to influence other celestial bodies. Both of these theories suggest that something much larger than a mere planet is lurking at the edges of the solar system. One of the biggest anomalies is Sedna, a dwarf planet with an extremely elongated orbit. Unlike other trans-Neptunian objects, Sedna never comes close enough to the Sun to be influenced by normal planetary forces. Its trajectory suggests it's being pulled by something much farther out, something we haven't found yet. Then there's the Pioneer anomaly. The Pioneer 10 and 11 space probes, launched in the 1970s, experienced unexpected deceleration as they traveled through deep space. Scientists struggled to explain this drift, with some suggesting an unknown gravitational force was acting on them. The Oort cloud, a vast shell of icy bodies surrounding the solar system, also presents a mystery. Some regions show irregular movement, as if something with immense gravity is tugging at them from beyond the observable edge of our system. These disturbances don't fit within the gravitational influence of the known planets. They suggest a missing piece, a massive object far beyond Pluto. shaping the solar system in ways we don't yet understand. Modern astronomy has built a strong case for an undiscovered planetary body in the outer reaches of the solar system. The signs are there. Sitchin claimed Nibiru had a 3,600-year orbit, a detail that doesn't align with modern estimates of Planet 9's trajectory. He believed it was inhabited, while current astronomy suggests it's a cold, distant world. Yet the core idea remains the same. Something enormous exists beyond the edges of our solar system. Whether we call it Nibiru, Planet 9, or something else entirely, one fact is becoming harder to ignore. A hidden celestial body is shaping the outer solar system, unseen but undeniable. And when we finally find it, the implications could change everything. The Kolbrin Bible is one of the most mysterious texts ever uncovered, claiming to be a mix of Egyptian and Celtic manuscripts that document a great cosmic catastrophe. It describes a red celestial body that appears in cycles, bringing destruction to Earth. The Kolbrin Bible is not a religious text like the Bible or the Quran. It consists of two main sections: the Egyptian texts, said to have been written by Egyptian priests who survived a massive cataclysm, possibly around 1500 BC, and the Celtic texts, believed to have been recorded by early British monks, containing spiritual teachings and dire warnings about future cosmic disasters. The Egyptian portions are believed to be from around 1600 to 500 BC, though no original manuscripts have been found. The Celtic portions were likely written much later, possibly between 500 and 1100 AD, during the early medieval period. The Kolbrin Bible remained hidden until the 20th century, when it was reportedly found in Scotland and later surfaced in New Zealand in the 1990s, published by the Hope Trust and Koldian Trust. The Bible's Egyptian texts describe a massive celestial body appearing in the sky, called the Destroyer. It is said to have caused firestorms and earthquakes, massive floods and rising seas, plagues and environmental collapse. Then, with the dawning, men saw an awesome sight. There, riding on a great black rolling cloud, came the Destroyer, newly released from the confines of the sky vaults, and it raged about the heavens, for it was the day of the wrath of the Lord. Another passage reads, "The stars and moons were moved from their places, the rivers changed their courses, and the great smoke and fire belched forth. The whole of the land was filled with the smoke of destruction." Could the Destroyer be a rogue planet, a massive comet, or a cyclical cosmic event?
Power does not always protect. Sometimes it burns. In ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra was not just a giver of life, he was also the wielder of destruction. And when his authority was challenged, when chaos threatened to unravel the world, he did not simply strike back. He unleashed something far worse. The Eye of Ra was not a single entity. It was a force, an instrument of divine vengeance, a weapon forged in the fires of the cosmos. It was sent to cleanse, to punish, to restore balance through annihilation. It could take many forms. Sometimes it was Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess who slaughtered mortals in a relentless fury. Other times it was Hathor, descending not as a nurturer, but as a harbinger of ruin. In every form, it served the same purpose: to burn away the corruption of the world before order could be restored. When the Eye of Ra descended, it did not come quietly. The sky ignited. Fire rained down, scorching the land. turning rivers to steam. The people fled in terror, but there was no escape. Death moved swiftly, relentless in its purpose. And when the destruction was complete, when the world had been purged, only then did the eye withdraw, its hunger satisfied, for a time. The myths tell of a divine force, a celestial presence that descended from the heavens, bringing fire, death, and purification. But was this only a legend? Or were the Egyptians recording something they had seen? A celestial catastrophe, a cosmic reset, a force that comes and then comes again.
If a celestial body, a rogue planet, a failed star, a cosmic wanderer, were to pass close to Earth, it wouldn't need to collide to bring devastation. Gravity does not ask permission. Its pull would reach across space, altering tides, shifting continents, unraveling the delicate balance of our world. Long before it arrived, we would feel its presence. The moon's orbit would begin to drift. Ocean tides would rise in ways no scientist could explain. Our magnetic field would flicker, sending the planet into a frenzy of geomagnetic storms, shutting down satellites, blacking out cities. The sky itself would turn strange, clouds forming in unfamiliar patterns, the sun's light growing dimmer or burning too bright. Then, the ground would shake, not from impact, but from the invisible hands of gravity, pulling at the planet's crust, fracturing fault lines, igniting the molten fury beneath us. Dormant volcanoes would awaken, spewing ash into the sky, choking out the sun, casting the world into a volcanic winter. The Yellowstone caldera, one of the most dangerous volcanic systems on Earth, could erupt with a force not seen in tens of thousands of years, burying continents under blankets of ash, suffocating entire civilizations. The storms would follow, hurricanes the size of continents, winds tearing across the land, reshaping coastlines in a matter of hours. The sky itself might catch fire, streaked with the debris of a solar system in chaos. Tsunamis would rise like liquid mountains, sweeping inland for miles, drowning entire cities, pulling humanity into the depths. And as the celestial intruder moved away, Earth would not simply be normal. The scars would remain. The atmosphere could be stripped, leaving a world gasping for breath. The planet's tilt might shift, sending us into an age of ice or fire, with days and nights unlike anything we have ever known. And if its passing disturbed the asteroid belts beyond Neptune, it would send a storm of cosmic debris hurtling toward us, a final death blow, years after the sky had already burned. Throughout history, civilizations have watched the sky, searching for signs. They have recorded cycles of destruction, fire from the heavens, floods that reshape the world. They have whispered of a celestial force that comes and goes, unseen until it is too late. The Egyptians called it the Destroyer, a fiery entity that brought plagues, earthquakes, and storms of death. They spoke of Sekhmet's wrath, Apep's endless hunger, the Eye of Ra descending to purge the world before balance could be restored. The Colburn Bible describes a red celestial body that arrived suddenly, turning rivers to blood and throwing the stars from their places. The book of Revelation speaks of wormwood, a burning star that falls from the sky, poisoning the waters, bringing suffering to those who remain. Sitchin looked at these stories and saw a pattern, a planetary body returning in cycles, a hidden force beyond the edge of the solar system, waiting for its time. And modern astronomy? It has begun to suspect that he may have been onto something, a missing planet, a force distorting the orbits of distant worlds, a dark mass at the farthest edges of our solar system waiting. If the ancients recorded what they saw, if the myths were memories of something real, then we are not simply telling stories of the past. We are reading warnings of the future. Because if it has come before, then it will come again.